What's up, nerds? This is my review for Star Wars Rebels, the entire series. Now, I just want to start off by saying that I loved this show. I mean, it started off rocky, but towards the end, I really love this show, and I will be sad to see it gone. I understand that they can't keep it going on forever, and they're starting up that new Disney streaming service, and they're going to have some Star Wars shows there, and maybe they'll continue with another animated series. But like I said, I just love this story. I love the characters. And I'm really sad to see it go. I liked Clone Wars also before this, and I just really hate to see it go. So I want to go ahead and talk about some stuff, and I'm just gonna start off by saying some positive things that I like about it. Now, kind of a negative is it started off very kind of childish and kiddish. For example, when they put out the shorts of the crew members, I didn't think that it was a show that I would enjoy. For instance, the one where Sabine spray paints the TIE fighters. I just thought, I was like, this is lame. I was like, I don't think I'm going to watch this. And if I do, I'm probably not going to like it. I'm probably just going to watch it because it's Star Wars. But as the show went on, it stayed enough to where kids could watch it, but it got mature enough to where adults adults could watch it and really get into it, and children would just watch it because they were being entertained. Not that we didn't get entertained. I think that the animation was really great. I think that, I liked the animation in Clone Wars, and this was just on par with that. So I think that it was good. I think that they did a really good job there. And everything. I think that the space battles with the starships, although I thought they were short, they were still good. When I watch Star Wars, I love the space battles. I mean, Rogue One is like Return of the Jedi. That Battle of Endor is still my favorite. Growing up, I just loved it, and it's still my favorite space battle today. But the one in Rogue One is like right next to it because it's so good, and I think that this one, although it's not on par with those because they're so short, I understand animation costs money and they don't have time to be spending all that stuff. I wish they would have gone on a little bit longer when they did. As far as, and it also had really great storylines. I think that from season to season, it was like, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to stop the Empire, trying to free Lothal. That was, they just kept going on and on, but they didn't forget about Lothal throughout the series. And I thought that that was great. But something that I didn't like was with the Death Star. I feel like this past season and previous seasons, I'm trying to remember exactly about season 3, the Empire is building the Death Star, and they start focusing on it, they start getting into it because of Rogue One, and then they just drop it. And I think that kind of hurt it because people like myself noticed it, and I'm just like, there was no conclusion to that. And I mean, like, if you go into Rogue One and watch it, I mean, I guess you would obviously get that, but I just go, there was nothing there that really, really that concluded it and everything. And I mean, they didn't need to, but it was fine. It was fine, the fact that they didn't do that, but it was just really great. So I want to talk about the characters, and normally when I do a review and I talk about the characters, I start from my least favorite and then I go to my favorite. This one, I can't really think of a character that I didn't like. There were things I didn't like about some characters, but I just liked every character. I think that they were written well, I think that they came off well, and I just think that they were just really great. So I'm just gonna go off and just name off the ones that I can. Chopper. So he's funny, very charismatic, very do my own thing, especially for droids. Now, I don't like droids in the Star Wars universe. I just don't think that, I don't like C-3PO and R2-D2. I don't like them. The only one that I really, really liked was BB-8, and that was only the beginning of Force Awakens. At the end, he obviously drops off as a character and really doesn't have that much to do. And then, Chopper in this one, he's great, but like I said, he's not my favorite, and but I did like him. He played his part. Next is Zeb. I liked Zeb. I liked his strong attitude. I think that his character kind of got pushed to the back in this season 4, and it just slowly got pushed to the back also. I really liked the episode. I believe it was in season 2 or 2. No, 2. I believe it was season 2, where they found more of his people because he thought he was the only one. I thought that was really touching, and I wish they would have explored that more. It's fine that they didn't. They didn't have time for that stuff, but it was nice to see that. Sabine Wren, I did feel that they spent too much time on Sabine Wren and like her past and all that stuff. I felt like when she left the crew to stay on her planet to help out in the Civil War, I really felt like that should have been the end of Sabine. I mean, I did like her character, but I just feel like, you know, she's all like, I got to stay home and help. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to come back with you guys because, you know, I need to be back on the show kind of thing. But she was really great. I wish her and Ezra, they would have focused on their love story just a little bit more. I mean, obviously there was something going on there and they just kind of dropped it. They did drop their love story and kind of focus more on Janus, Kanan, Jairus, not Janus, Kanan and Hera, their love story, which was great because the ending, which we will get into the ending, the last episode, in just a minute. But I really do think that it was, I did like them that they focused on that, and it was nice. It was nice. So then next I want to talk about Kanan. Oh no, Hera. Sorry, I want to talk about Hera. So next I want to talk about Hera. And I really liked Hera. I'm gonna say she's probably my favorite character on the show. First off, I love Twi'leks, so hot. And then I just really think that she was a good captain and a good general, and she was just a great character. I mean, you know, she fought for her team, she fought for the rebels, and she knew what she wanted, and she fought for it. And I think, and she lost for it. You know, she lost the love of her life, and she had to deal with that, you know, because, you know, without sacrifice there is no reward. Not all the time. And then Kanan was a great character. I really liked him. I was kind of bummed when he went blind, but I mean, it's obvious that it was needed. I mean, it wasn't obvious that it was needed, but it is just something needed to happen for him, for Ezra to step up and become, you know, the Jedi that he needed to be. Speaking of Ezra was a good character. I liked his progression throughout the thing. They tried to say, the guy with the cowboy hat, Filoni or whatever his name was, a stupid cowboy hat. Not that I have a thing against cowboy hats, but it looks stupid on him. Especially he's just sitting there with a t-shirt and a cowboy hat. Anyways, so he said that it's always been Ezra's story, and I don't feel that way. I feel maybe like it started out that way, but then I feel like with any TV show or any storyline, it evolves, and I feel like this evolved from one kid trying to make a difference in the universe to a family and a crew, and I really feel like it was more like their story. Like it evolved into their story, and then at the end, they were just like, well, remember, it's Ezra's story, not their story. And that part was a little disappointing. And then as far as main characters go, Ahsoka Tano is not a main character, but I did like her a lot. I liked her in the Clone Wars series, and then I liked her in this one. I was super happy that she didn't die, or she did die and then Ezra saved her. But I really did like her character in the show, especially season 2 when she played a big part in that. I was sad to see her go, but that fight with Darth Vader was so freaking good. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Probably my favorite battle, like my favorite fight and everything. So good. So then getting on to the villains, season 1 we had the Inquisitor, and he was good. Well, he wasn't just good, he was good. I liked him a lot. I thought he was a great character. I was bummed to see him go. I like Jason Isaacs, even though he really didn't talk like an overwhelming amount. And then the second season they had the Inquisitors, and they were okay, but they weren't as good as the Inquisitor from the first season, in my opinion. I mean, they were just like, you know, they were just a knockoff of him, and it was okay, but it wasn't great. So, I mean, I wasn't, you know, bummed, but I wasn't too sad. I wasn't too sad to see them go. And then, of course, Vader, always great. Who doesn't love Darth Vader? But he obviously wasn't in the show that much. I believe he's only in 1 or 2 episodes. Anyways, and then of course this last season, Thrawn. Thrawn is a great character, and I really wish they hadn't had just got rid of him. Maybe they can bring him back if they do a show on that Disney streaming service. But I really did like his character. He was such a good bad guy. The Rebels, you really get the feeling, the sense, like from the start to the ending, that the Rebels are slowly progressing and that they don't know what they're doing, and they're trying really hard, and you have all these different factions trying to do their thing, but collectively trying to do something together. But I did feel, like I said before, it went from trying to get the rebellion on track to all of a sudden we've got this storyline of figuring out what the Empire is doing with the Death Star, and then just chopping that off, both of them, to do this whole spirit thing with Ezra, which I'm going to get into the ending in the last episodes in just 1 second. The Empire, I liked all the people in the Empire. Of course, they're bad guys. They do a good job. They did what the Empire does. Stormtroopers don't know how to shoot, and, the Empire, does whatever it wants to get whatever it wants. So now I want to talk about the ending. I will be honest with you. I am very disappointed with the ending, and I haven't read anything yet as far as anybody else's their thoughts on the ending, but I didn't like it. I thought that what I wanted was for them to do just go, like the last episode, go straight into the Battle of Scarif from Rogue One. And I didn't, and after I watched the final scenes, they didn't need to do that. But what I didn't want them to do was completely not give us answers, because Ezra, so Ezra sacrifices himself, and that's cool and everything, but I'm all like, okay, I don't care. We'll just say he's dead, okay? But they could have at least acknowledged the Battle of Scarif, because it was just like, okay, we're going to do whatever we want, and then we're just going to wrap it up in a 2-minute clip with a narration from Sabine. And I didn't like that at all. You got Ahsoka, who's got her little wand staff, and I'm all like, what's that all about? And she just shows up. You don't know what happened with her. I really don't feel like they're going to show us what happened. And I just really wish they would have done something different. The whole spirity thing with the wolves that just randomly showed up, never once mentioned before. And then this little spirit world that's connected to I never liked those, the ones that were in Rogue One, those 3, the father, mother, or father, daughter, and son thing. I never liked that. I thought it was stupid. It was dumb. I didn't like that. I didn't like it in this last season. I didn't like the little paths thingy. The only thing that I liked about that was the fact that he saved Ahsoka. And it just wasn't the best ending. I really feel like they dropped the ball when it came to that. So, in conclusion, this show is fantastic overall. It has so much to offer, and as far as the canon for Star Wars, it's just like they did a really good job, and I really do feel like it's a great show. So I would recommend it to any Star Wars fan. As far as rating goes, 1 out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8. And I hope they make more of these kinds of shows on the Disney streaming service. I know they're going to do more than one Star Wars show. I will be watching. I am definitely going to subscribe to that streaming service. So tell me what you guys thought about the show. Tell me what you didn't like. Did you like the ending? Explain some things to me that I didn't get. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this. If you didn't like it, that's cool. I understand. And hit that subscribe button or not. And I will check you guys later. Bye.